our presentation. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'll now pass it on to Julie for the Q&A segment.
Thank you, Jessica. As Jessica mentioned, the blog, all of those resources are in our press kit in our newsroom. We'll talk more about that later on in the webinar. We're now ready to begin taking your questions, and joining us now to help answer your questions are three other subject matter experts from the Population Division. They are Roberto Ramirez, Assistant Division Chief of Special Population Statistics, Rachel Marks, Senior Advisor on Race and Ethnicity, and Ali Koritz, Senior Analyst for the Racial Statistics Branch. And as a reminder, we are only taking questions related to today's webinar, which is the Race Ethnicity Coding Improvement Project. If you have any questions that are out of scope, please contact the Public Information Office at pio@census.gov. We are happy to help. Operator, can you please provide instructions on how people can submit their questions?
Yes, thank you. At this time, if you'd like to ask a question, please press *1 on your phone. Please ensure that your phone is unmuted and state your name and organization clearly when prompted. Again, that is *1 to ask a question. If you need to withdraw from the queue, press *2. One moment, please.
Thank you, Operator. As we wait for questions to queue up, I'd like to mention the resources for today's webinar. They can all be found on census.gov. Just go to the News tab in the upper right-hand corner, then click on the Press Kit icon. You will find it there. Our press kit includes a link to the new Federal Register notice, a tip sheet, blog, today's slide deck, and we'll add the recording of this webinar when it's available. Okay, now let's go to the questions. Operator, do we have our first caller?
Yes, our first question is from Tim Henderson with State Line. Go ahead, your line's open.
Hi, Tim.
Yeah, hi. My question is generally, I've been looking at some comments and I see some concern about the Black Hispanic issues and some concerns that race and ethnicity might be conflated somehow. I see some examples you've already discussed, the Afro-Latino option. I see Dominican listed under Black or African American. Are those the kinds of things you're doing to address those concerns, or is there anything else you'd like to say about that?
Jessica Mararis, would you like to take this one?
Yeah, sure. Dominican is listed on the Hispanic code range. I just wanted to offer that clarification. So we just practice basically what OMB standards dictate on the definition. So an Afro-Latino response is classified as both Black and Hispanic, in that Latino is listed under the Hispanic code range and Afro is a Black or African American term. So when a respondent provides Dominican on the Black write-in line, that's still coded as Hispanic or Latino. Now, if they provide a Black response in addition to that, that's where we'll be able to capture both aspects of that identity of Black and Hispanic. Rachel or Meraris, I don't know if you have anything else to add. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Operator, do we have our next caller?
Our next caller is Lisa Brown from the University of Word. Go ahead, your line's open.
Yes. Hi, can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Wonderful. Yes, this is Dr. Lisa Brown from the University in Word, and I have been immersed in this process from the beginning back in November 2019. I think that's when we first started. Nevertheless, my question is similar to the previous caller. We were very adamant about there being a U.S. freedmen descendant category, and that the previous FRN said that they were going to take them under advisement. I am quite shocked that you've done some kind of disaggregating to make sure that the Hispanic Latino was included under Black, but didn't honor the request for those Blacks who were descendants of slaves and freedmen to be included in the coding. Is there still time for us to make that case, even though we submitted several articles, including myself and Dr. Darity at Duke University, about this need to have that specificity and granularity we were promised?
Thank you for your question, Lisa. Rachel, would you like to take this one?
Yeah, thank you for that question. And we appreciate you being involved since 2019. Your feedback is really important to us. And so just for clarification, I think the feedback that you provided previously was through OMB's Federal Register notice on updating the standards that they've recently updated earlier this year. So what we're asking today about is our code list. And while OMB did not make updates to add an American descendants of slaves or American freedmen category, they did, in their updated standards, specifically specify that future research on this topic should be conducted. And so I would absolutely encourage you to send us any research you have about this topic, about further disaggregating it, because as I know you were part of those conversations, there was an agreement during the OMB comment period about which term should be used to identify this population, or if it should be disaggregated from the Black or African American category, or stay within it, or even perhaps be asked through a different question. So we welcome your feedback on this topic, and thanks for your continued engagement.
Okay, thank you. We will be submitting some disaggregation recommendations.
Thank you, Lisa. Operator, do we have our next caller?
Next caller is Rosalind Gold from Nalio Educational Fund. Go ahead, your line's open.